You've explained it once, twice, maybe even 3 times, and somehow an important task you gave your team is still not done right. So you chase, you check in, you send that email, that Slack message again, and before you know it, you're doing the thing you thought you'd already delegated. Does this sound familiar? This isn't about poor performance, it's about clarity. And even more than that, a lack of alignment between you and your direct report. And when there's no alignment, there's no accountability. How do I get my team to be more accountable? Honestly, it's one of the most common questions I hear in workshops. And that's what this video is all about, how to actually create accountability through better delegation. Because delegation isn't just a handover of work, it's a leadership moment. It's your chance to build what I call CAT, clarity about what needs to be done, alignment with the person on how it fits within everything else they're doing, and trust that they can take it on and run with it. And this isn't just theory, it's core to what I teach inside my Manager OS program. Because when you get this right, you stop being reactive, you stop chasing, and you actually create headspace to lead. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a framework called Trust. It's a 5-step structure that helps you hand over work without over-explaining, check understanding without sounding condescending, and set up visibility and support without micromanaging. And I'll talk about what to do if they still don't do it. And the brilliant thing is, you can use this in your next one-to-one. You could use it today. It takes under 10 minutes and it makes a huge difference. But first, let's talk about why delegation breaks down. To be honest, delegation usually breaks down before the work even starts. You thought you were clear, you weren't. You assumed they knew the priority, they didn't. And when that happens, it's usually because of one of two things. You or your team member weren't aligned on the outcome or the priority, or you skip the conversation altogether. Because let's face it, we're all busy. So we fire off a task on Slack or in an email, and then we wonder why it's not done right. But accountability doesn't live in the inbox, it lives in the conversation. And this is where trust really comes to life. It's a 5-step conversation. We start with T. That's all about the task, defining the task well. Really what you're doing is explaining, here's what I need you to do and why it matters. You're describing what a good job, well done looks like. And that takes a little thought, being clear on the outcome, the context, any constraints. What this helps them do is make better decisions as they do the work because they understand why. This is also the time to ask yourself, how does this task fit with everything else I've already delegated? That clarity up front helps avoid confusion later. Next, R is for remit. This is where you explain the resources and authority. So the resources they have access to and what they're empowered to decide. This bit often gets missed, but unclear authority is where tasks stall. So when no one is sure who makes the decision, that's when things kind of lose momentum, or as a manager, we can easily jump back in. So you need to name it. U is the understanding checks. This is when you might say, are there any questions on this? And then you're going to clarify that they have understood what you have said. This is not about testing them. This is about ensuring you have been clear. So you might say, could you talk me through your plan just so I know I've explained it clearly? This keeps it warm and collaborative and not like a test. And here's a key question to then ask that checks for accountability. Is there anything else that you're working on that might get in the way of following through on this? This helps you surface any competing priorities before they become a problem. Next is S, and S is the support plan. So this is where you agree your level of involvement. You may say, what support will you need from me? This stops you hovering or disappearing. What you're agreeing on is just enough with intention. And finally, 5th, T, which is for timeline and tracking. This is where you agree where you're going to check back in and what they're going to show you to check that they're on track. This is about transparency, not about control. It's about milestones, not micromanagement. But what if they still don't do it? And sometimes, even with all this in place, the task still doesn't get done. And that's when you move into a feedback and coaching mode. You could ask, hey, I notice this hasn't moved forward. Can we talk about what's getting in the way? Notice it's nice and open. It's not critical. It's just being curious and finding out what's going on. Now, some people really struggle with being held accountable, and that's okay. Your job is to hold the line with curiosity and a level of understanding. And sometimes this conversation alone nips true accountability avoidance in the bud and before it becomes a performance management issue. Here's the final piece that busy managers often skip. Write it down. After your trust conversation, capture what was agreed. Even better, ask them to send you a quick summary. This isn't about creating paperwork. It's about creating transparency. Because when delegation lives in your head or scattered across random notes, you end up back where you started, chasing and checking. But when it's visible and trackable, you can see patterns. You'll know who's delivering and who needs more support. And as AI tools become more of the way in which we work, having your delegation organized means you can actually get help in managing it all. Think about it. If you've got a clear record of who's working on what, an AI assistant can help you prep for the one-to-one, spot bottlenecks, even draw follow-up messages, but only if the information exists in the first place. The goal isn't perfect documentation. It's having enough visibility to lead proactively instead of reactively. Inside Manager OS, we have a simple template for this, just enough structure to keep you organized without adding bureaucracy. So you don't need a tool, you don't need a 2-hour handover meeting, you just need one quality trust conversation. Start with the next piece of work. Give yourself 5 minutes to prep. You could turn it into a little checklist, because when you lead with clarity, you create alignment and you build real trust within your team. Because great leaders don't chase accountability, they create it. And if you want more frameworks that free up your time and boost your team's performance, I break out the leadership system all managers need to release their time. And you can check it out in this video right here.